Yeah, this looks beautiful. Maintaining it very horribly, to be honest. I think they could do something about clearing this piece because it's such a lovely sight to look at this. Yeah, I got a friend here whom I just met. Seems to be going for a ride, so we caught up. We had a good chat. Yeah, we spoke about the bikes as always. Passionate petrol heads, right? It's so crazy, but that's where we are.
कर लो उसके बाद में लेना नहीं
नहीं यार, we नहीं. Thank you. See you, buddy.
एक बार देखो
Look at that, man. Look at that. Doesn't it look good? So today I got out from bed early, and as you can see, it's about 8:50. Normally I would be actually out by 10 o'clock, but today I'm out by 8:50, which is brilliant. I mean, I actually got up at 6:30. I left home by about 8 o'clock, I think. Yeah, I've been taking some pictures, some videos and things like that out at the Shamirpet Lake, and I met a bike enthusiast again. And you know, when two bike enthusiasts meet, what happens, right? You basically start talking about the bikes and blah blah stuff, etc. It's always nice. So when we were actually discussing, there was a guy who came in, right? And he says, I'm from a different state altogether, and you know, I've got some thing that I can sell to you. And I said, okay, what is it? And he picked out AirPods Pro, man. Looks a sealed piece. It's an absolutely sealed piece. Yeah. The MRP on that was 24,900 or something. And he was willing to sell me for almost 2,000 rupees. But this friend of mine who's the bike enthusiast who was out there was saying, you know, these are first copies, so don't even think of buying them because they just look exactly the same, and after a month they don't work. And I wanted to actually talk a little bit about the bike today. The reason I bought the BMW 1250 GSA over a 1250 is for the simple reason that I am not a person who's going to be doing dirt track rides and going off-road a lot, because I really don't like doing off-road a lot. And hence I decided I should be actually buying a bike which suits my needs, right? And this particular bike suits my needs. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I've test driven the 1250 GS. So if you are somebody who wants to kind of do dirt track riding and want to do adventure riding, then by all means go and buy the 1250 GS. But if you're somebody who actually is looking for doing highway rides on the tarmac all the time, then I would think the GSA is going to be a better option. And the reason why the GSA is a better option is because of the tank size it's got. It's got a 30-liter tank, so basically it cocoons you and it actually protects you from the wind blast. Of course, it's got a taller windscreen, which you can get in a normal GS as well. But the other piece is it's got the winglets out there. The winglets actually deflect the wind out, right? The 30-liter fuel tank means a lot of weight, right? So the suspension of this vehicle also probably, I feel, is a little different to the GS. So basically bumps and bad patches really don't matter a lot, right? I mean, they're just brilliant. You just don't even know about it. Also, what I feel is that probably the distance between the two wheels for this bike is a bit shorter as compared to a GS, right? Which again gives this bike a brilliant stability. And I chose the black because, and also with the 30-liter tank, the black looks like a beast actually, right? If you see it on the road, and it's such an attention seeker that this bike is near perfect. So if you are somebody into the market for looking at highway rides, this is the bike. These are the winglets, as you can see. Yeah, so what happens is the air hits and gets deflected from here and goes out. That's one winglet on one side. There you go. This is the other winglet, which basically, you know, deflects the wind off. And look at this bike from a distance like this. It looks an absolute beast because of the 30-liter petrol tank, right? So the GS, which is a different version of this bike, actually looks a little slimmer from the front, And if you really are somebody who's looking for, you know, seeking attention on the road, and you want people to turn and look back at you, trust me, you will never go wrong buying this bike. Because this bike is such an attention seeker that, you know, every time I go on the road, I really feel really proud about buying this bike. It's a different story that I had to I have the top case with me, right? And I'm just going to show you. And the reason why I wanted to show you the top case is because this top case is an additional accessory that I bought for the bike. Look at the way the bike really looks even more attractive and appealing after the top case, because it's got an even symmetry around. And one of the reasons I bought the top case was to dump everything. You don't want a shoulder bag, you know, hanging behind you, and which actually pulls you down, and it doesn't give you a very good, comfortable riding feel. And over a period of time, your shoulders start aching. And so the top case, I bought an aluminum 42 liters, and I'm so delighted that I bought this top case. And I've been riding with this top case for a while. And as I said to you, the top case doesn't feel is there actually when you're riding the bike. So when a rider is here and you have a top case, so there's a bit of a passage out here, right? So this particular passage, when you're actually riding a little fast, what would happen is that the wind is flowing from between the top case and the person and the rider. So when it goes with high velocity, the pressure drops. So when your pressure drops, the atmospheric pressure is slightly high. So I thought it's going to swing the bike and sway the bike, but trust me, it doesn't do any of those things at all. Anybody who's saying that should I buy a top case, I would highly recommend to buy a top case. I had a dilemma of buying between a top case and versus a soft case, which is basically you get a bag out here, you kind of insert it here and you take the cords and tie it out, and I was not very comfortable because at high speeds you're not very sure how that's going to behave, right? So that's about it. So let's go and see what's in my top case, okay? Please don't get embarrassed if it's a bit messy out there. It's a very simple way to open the top case. Let me show you. These two hooks come out. And look at that. Look at the top case. Yeah, so great quality, brilliant build. So I'm gonna just put this way, and yeah, and then you can lock this if you want so it doesn't come out, right? So that's about the top case, about why I think I chose the GSA, right? Stay tuned with me. We're gonna get onto the road and ride and talk about it later. Yeah, bye. A lot and you're putting fuel wherever you're doing. This petrol tank actually gets a filter. So you put the filter in and then close the petrol tank. So every time you're pouring your petrol, you're going to pour it over, you know, through the filter all the dust particles and all the impurities out. But shockingly, that filter itself costs you, I think, 10,000, 11,000 something. So I hope guys and girls, of course, who are watching this video, you got a bit of a drift as to why I bought the 1250 GSA and not the 1250 GS. It's a personal preference, and I made my analysis of why I want to buy this, and it was perfectly alright to make that additional investment. And as I ride this bike after 4 months today, I think my decision was absolutely spot on. Somebody else could buy a GS, which is basically not the Adventure but the normal version, the GS, and they would be extremely delighted with it because it's nimble. You can off-road easily, it weighs lesser. I'm gonna bring this motor vlog to an end today. What time is it? It's about 12 o'clock. It's been 4 hours I've been on the road. Of course, some time is spent at the coffee shop. So I'm going to bring this motor vlog to an end. It's a Sunday. Please do watch my new vlog that must have come out today. And ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, you to subscribe to my channel, which is called as AKS Creations or Ox Creations. Show me some love, guys. Hope you all have a great weekend today. Stay safe, enjoy with your family, and until next time, speak to you again. Take care. Bye for now.